Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another creamy body wash video, but I'm going to be sharing with you also how to infuse this luxurious creamy body wash with some CBD. As you know from my previous videos where I've used CBD, CBD is very well known for its pain relieving and anti-inflammatory properties. So in theory, it could be helpful for things like dry, itchy skin, and conditions like eczema. Of course, you can't make any claims that this could heal you, but this is why we're adding CBD to this body wash formula today. If you didn't want to use the CBD isolate powder in this formula, you can totally just leave it out and make a beautiful, luxurious, velvety, silky feeling creamy body wash. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my full process and tutorial of how to put together this amazing body wash. And if you would like the full written recipe plus a full written step-by-step detailed tutorial with percentages and amounts so you can scale up or down as you like, please head on over to my Patreon campaign. This formula will be available at just the $5 level. If you haven't had a chance to check out my campaign yet, I'll go ahead and place a link for you in the description box below. There's a ton to take advantage of over there. Just at the $5 level, you have access to hundreds of recipes and tutorials, all in the hair care, skincare, soap making, and candle making areas. I am a crowd-funded content creator, so your support really means a lot to me. It allows me to keep doing what I'm doing, putting out weekly content for you and weekly recipes and tutorials. And there are also 4 other tiers over there besides the $5 level that you can take a look at and take advantage of, each with their own unique benefits. And we've built a wonderful community over there, and I hope that you check it out and see what thousands of other makers have come to really like about my campaign. All right, let's get started. All right, so this formula is broken down into 3 parts. We have an oil phase, a watery phase, and a surfactant phase. So the first thing I'm going to do though is go ahead and weigh off my CBD isolate powder. So I am using 100% CBD isolate, meaning it has no THC in it at all. If you guys want to learn more about making products with CBD isolate, go ahead and check out some of my other videos. I go into more detail about the type of CBD I'm using and also what type of products you can put it in, and making and selling your product. So today I'm just going to show you how to do this. So we are going to go ahead and weigh off our CBD isolate powder. I am weighing off enough that my entire 200 gram batch will contain 1,000 milligrams of CBD, approximately. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start filling up my oil phase beaker. So this is gonna be a creamy body wash because we are using oil. Typically, you don't find a lot of oils in a surfactant-based body wash. However, you guys have seen me make a lot of creamy body washes at this point, and the reason why we're making a creamy body wash, one of the reasons why we're making a creamy body wash is because my CBD isolate powder is fat soluble. So I can't just dump this into my waters and surfactants, it will not dissolve. So I need something to dissolve. I need a solvent to dissolve my CBD isolate, and the solvent that we're going to be using today is fractionated coconut oil. This is also going to serve as an emollient in our shower gel, making it very creamy and luxurious. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off our fractionated coconut oil. You could use any type of oil that you like here. I'm choosing this one because it's lightweight, and also not only is it lightweight, it tends to dissolve readily. It tends to dissolve the CBD isolate very readily and easily. It will dissolve in any oil, but it just dissolves easier in the fractionated coconut oil. To this, we're going to be adding in some fragrance oil. Now this is a little unconventional because we are going to be warming this up, but not a lot. And I'll explain all that to you as we go along. We're going to be adding in the beautiful Rosy Grapefruit and Geranium Petals by Makesy.com. This is an absolutely amazing fragrance. It's come to be one of my favorite fragrances, and I only have this little sample size, but out of the bottle, it's one of my favorite fragrances, and I think it'll make a really great shower gel fragrance. So I got this out of the Spring Discovery Kit. However, you can buy full size over at Makesy. I'm also a Makesy affiliate, and so my link to my Makesy affiliate link is in the description box if you want to check out this fragrance or any other things over at Makesy. If you use my affiliate, it helps me out. So we're going to go ahead and add in some fragrance. All right, the next ingredient we're going to be adding to the oil phase is some PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil. This is going to be our emulsifier. So because we're adding in kind of a hefty load of oil in the fractionated coconut oil and the fragrance, we need something to emulsify this so that when we combine it with our waters and surfactants, we get a homogeneous formula. So we're going to go ahead and use PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil for our emulsifier today. And also I just wanted to let you know that this product gives your formula a really silky and velvety skin feel. So not only is it going to emulsify the oils and waters, making a really creamy body wash, it also has a really good skin feel, helping with some of the refatting that makes this feel really luxurious. So we're going to go ahead and add this in. You guys could just use polysorbate 80 as a direct substitute if you want, but the final outcome will not be exactly the same because I'm telling you this has a really, really nice, luxurious, silky, velvety skin feel, and it's got a very interesting texture. So we're going to be adding it in directly into our oil phase. I kind of have to squeeze it up. It'd be easier if this was in some sort of tub that you could scoop, but it's not. See that sticky kind of, there we go, perfect. Sticky kind of gelatinous type. So this is a little difficult to dissolve all on its own, so that's why we're going to be warming this up a little bit. It's just easier to work with when it's melted down. So I'm going to go ahead and set my oil phase aside, and then we're going to go ahead and put in some of the water ingredients. And to my water phase beaker, we're going to go ahead and put in some distilled water. All right. I'll try to move you guys in a little closer here too. So into the distilled water, I'm going to be adding in a hefty amount of glycerin. Now, I used to not add as much glycerin to these types of products, but actually it gives the product a really nice skin feel, very hydrating. So we're going to go ahead and add this in as our humectant. And this also helps to kind of stabilize foam and lather in a surfactant system. So we're going to go ahead and add in the glycerin. Okay. Next up, we're going to be adding in some Polyquaternium 7. Now, Polyquaternium 7 is going to give this a really nice velvety and satiny finish to it. This is a refatting agent, so we're helping the surfactants to basically feel hydrating and moisturizing instead of, you know, they can tend to be a little bit drying depending on how you formulate with them. So it's important to add things like Polyquaternium 7, or you could add liquid silk or other things to help with the hydration and the refatting. So we're going to go ahead and add this in. There we go. Now that's all we're going to add at the moment to the water phase. I'm going to give this a stir, and this way we're not going to be heating up any of the delicate extracts that are going to be incorporated, and we're not going to be heating up the preservative. We don't want to do that. We don't want to kill off the preservative, and we don't want to compromise the extracts. So for this water phase portion right now, that's all we're gonna add. I'm just combining my ingredients here. I'm gonna go and place my water phase and my oil phase beakers on a double boiler or a wide saute pan with a few inches of water and get them heated up just a little bit. I just maybe in the 120 range to 130 range max. And then I'm gonna be taking them off the heat and we'll move on to the next step. All right, my water and oil phases are sitting right around 130 degrees right now. And as you can see, that hydrogenated castor oil has melted down. This makes things much easier to incorporate. You can do the whole thing totally cold process, meaning you can just add your ingredients into one beaker. But I find that it takes a really long time for the hydrogenated castor oil to dissolve. So next, we're just gonna go ahead and add in our CBD isolate powder into our fats. And we're gonna go ahead and get this completely dissolved into the fats and oils before moving on. And you don't want this phase to be too hot here either, because you also don't want to compromise your CBD isolate powder. So right around 130 degrees is good enough. You could even probably be a little bit lower. You just want to make sure that castor oil, hydrogenated castor oil, is melted. It does help the CBD also to incorporate into the oils a little bit faster when everything is warm. So I really recommend just taking the extra few minutes to warm it up, because it will save you a lot of time in the long run. So just dissolving down that CBD isolate powder. Okay, and once you can see that the CBD isolate powder is completely dissolved, you shouldn't see any chunks of CBD powder floating around at all. Then you can add the water phase into the oil phase. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my water phase ingredients into my oil phase and CBD. And then I'm going to give this a good stir to combine the ingredients. Now right away you're going to see it turning white and milky. So this is because our formula is now emulsified. See that? So now we have this kind of milky looking emulsified formula, and it's time to continue on with the next phase here. I'm just going to take the temperature. All right, I'm going to give this just a few moments to come down in temperature a little bit before we add the preservative and the extracts, and I'll be right back when we're ready to do that. All right, now that my formula has come down to right around 100 degrees, we're going to go ahead and add in that preservative and also some extract. So if you notice while this is cooling that it looks like some of the oil phase might be separating out or floating to the top a little bit, give this a little bit of time. I promise you it will completely combine. It just takes a little bit of time for those ingredients to really combine, and they definitely will. So I'll show you some finished product at the end of this video too. But yeah, we've got a nice homogeneous looking formula. Sometimes as it sits, it can look like little pieces of the hydrogenated castor oil or oil start to float to the top. Don't worry about that. It will all combine. So we're going to go ahead and add in some reishi mushroom extract. This is water-soluble reishi mushroom extract I got from brambleberry.com. You certainly can add any other type of skin-loving extract in its place if you didn't have this one or didn't want to purchase it. This is very high in nutrients and great for the skin. So we're going to go ahead and add this in. Perfect. And then we're going to add in some preservative. Today we're using Liquid Germall Plus as a preservative. All right. There we go. And then we're going to give this a good stir to combine the extract and the preservative with the oils and waters. Okay, now we are ready for the surfactant phase. So because we have to do a lot of stirring in this formula, it's best to leave the surfactants to the last part. That's because once you add them in and you get going on your stirring, you're going to kick up bubbles. So this takes a little bit of time to stir and a little bit of vigorous stirring. So I definitely recommend leaving the surfactants to the end. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off the first one. This is Cocamidopropyl betaine. It's made out of coconuts, really pretty natural, and my favorite surfactant to use. This is going to bring, the surfactants are what's going to bring the cleansing properties along with the foam and bubbles to your product. So I use plant-based surfactants. This one's made from coconuts. And then the next one we're going to be using is SLES. This is sodium Laureth ether sulfate, not the same as sodium lauryl sulfate. This is much gentler. Sodium lauryl ether sulfate or sodium Laureth ether sulfate. It's called both of those, and we're going to combine it in here. This one has a really nice foam and bubbles to it, and I tried to put together surfactants that I know kind of have a bigger foam and lather to them, because when you add oil to a body wash or shower gel type system, it does kind of inhibit the lather a little bit. It doesn't take anything away from the cleansing properties, it just makes it so that your foam and lather is a little bit less. So next one we're going to be adding in is some decyl glucoside or decyl glucoside. This one's used in a lot, but all three of the ones that I'm using today are very common, easy to find. In fact, I got all of these at Wholesale Supplies Plus, and they are used in all sorts of shower gels, body washes, shampoos, facial washes. So they're very widely used and well known. All right. And then we're just going to give this a gentle stir to make sure we've combined the surfactants and oils and waters completely. So like I said at the beginning of the video as well, you can totally leave out the CBD isolate and just make a very luxurious, foaming, creamy body wash. I think the CBD in this formula just adds to that label appeal if you're going to be selling your product, but also, you know, some people really do enjoy that benefit in their soaps and shower gels. I know there's some mixed opinions about putting CBD into rinse-off products, but these types of products are found all over different shops and boutiques, even like, and I would say in more commercial type products as well. So it is a popular thing. All right, once those are combined, I'm gonna take the temperature real quick. I want this to be room temperature before we thicken it. So we're sitting right around 84 degrees. I've got a little bit of bubbles on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with a little bit of rubbing alcohol to get rid of the bubbles. And then I'm gonna wait for this to come down to room temperature, which in my house is right around 72 degrees, 70 degrees, before we add any thickener to it so that we don't over thicken the formula. All right, we're ready to go ahead and thicken this formula up. So I'm using a little bit of glucose D today. This is very effective in this formula. It thickens it up with just a little bit. And you wanna go ahead and warm your glucose D up in a hot water bath. for 5 to 10 minutes because otherwise it's really hard to incorporate into your product. So you just want to get it to a little bit more of a runny consistency. So I'm just going to add in a little bit, give this a stir. Sometimes too, the glucose D can stick to your spatula or your stirring rod. You just got to keep stirring gently until it incorporates. So right away I'm getting some good viscosity, and I'll bring you back when everything is as thick as I like it. All right, this formula is now nice and thick, so it's just a little bit more glucose D that I added to get this nice kind of shower gel type viscosity. Of course, you could go thinner than this. I probably wouldn't go thicker than this though, because it's going to be hard to come out of a pump or flip top. So one other option here you could also do is add a little bit of Bubble Wash Polarizer. So this is going to make it look a little bit more pearlescent. You could leave it just like that. That's beautiful as well. That nice bright white. But you could add in a little bit of Bubble Wash Polarizer. That's what I'm going to do here. And this just gives it a little bit of a pearlescent vibe. Again, this is an as you like. You can add in as much as you like or as little as you like. I'm going to stop there. And I got this one at Wholesale Supplies Plus. And I'm just going to mix it in. It's so pretty with this white color. It just makes it look just almost iridescent. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just going to give that a good stir. I absolutely love this fragrance too. I think I'll be purchasing this in bigger quantities here soon. And that's it. So we're just going to go ahead and package this up, and then I'll give you a little bit of a use demo as well. That's really gorgeous. So we're just going to go ahead and pour this in. This is a rather thick formula, so there we go. And there you go. We just made a beautiful CBD infused creamy body wash. Let's go ahead and see how this works. I hope the camera is picking up that iridescent quality it has. So we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you what this looks like in a loofah because that's how I use it in the shower. Oh, this is another one that this was the final formula I settled on that I've been using and testing for a while now. And I'm absolutely loving it. The reason why this one is a different color than this one is because I used an oat oil for this one, and the oat oil is a really dark, kind of dark amber looking, so it just changed the color. I did add Polarizer to this one as well, but you know, your oil color is going to make a difference in the final color as well. So let's go ahead and show you what this looks like. Squeezing a little bit onto my loofah. And right away, it's making this beautiful, creamy, very luxurious, hydrating, gentle lather. And this would be great for dry or sensitive skin as well because I'm telling you, it's so creamy and just hydrating. And that's the kind of lather you're going to get on a loofah with this. Dense, kind of foamy, creamy lather. It smells so fresh. Feels really good on the skin. All right, everybody, that's how you make a beautiful CBD infused body wash. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please leave me some comments and questions below. That really means a lot to me. Share this video with a friend, and why not subscribe to my channel. All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.